Hello, and welcome to Creating Business Magic in the Fourth Quarter. My name is Nicole Mangina, and I'm so happy you're here today. This is one of my favorite times of the year for so many reasons. Personally, I think it's just beautiful. I was out driving yesterday down this gorgeous street lined with trees, and there were all these vibrant colors, yellows, reds, oranges. Just think it's beautiful. And professionally, it's a fun time of year. There are times when it's work. But right now, there's so many ways to make it fun and do great business in the meantime. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Super excited about it. Why is the fourth quarter so amazing? There are infinite opportunities to connect right now. And that seems to be one of the biggest thing that people struggle with. Calling your active clients is easy. Of course, there's a reason to call, but we all know that we're supposed to be calling our past clients and maintaining these relationships and making what we call forward calls. Forward stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So finding ways to connect. The tricky part is, though, we always feel awkward doing it. We feel like we're supposed to come up with or manufacture or contrive some reason to call. And then we're afraid that it's going to feel awkward on the other end as well. Right now, there's so many things going on that just make it easy and natural to pick up the phone. It's also fantastic because there's enough time to make really great money this year. You still can get a couple more transactions in and get them closed, boost that number for the year, but also to fill next year's funnel. As the seasons change and things get cooler, we start spending, and the days are shorter, we start spending more time inside our homes, which means those seeds of moving start to sprout. They start to take root and start to grow because you realize, well, maybe your house is too dark. Maybe it's too small. Maybe the location isn't quite right because certainly traffic is worse now than it is in the summertime. Or there could be all sorts of reasons, but that's when people start to think about those things. And, maybe they're not ready to do something right now, but those are the people that go into your funnel. And I'm a huge believer that the real money in business is made in your funnel. Today, clients are easy. You know what to do, but knowing what to do to have tomorrow clients is a different story. And that really seems to be one of the defining factors that I see between people that are very successful in their business and those that always seem to be struggling or stuck on that hamster wheel and just can't quite get over the hump and into that next level of success. So we're going to really talk about how to do that in the next 2.5 months and make it fun. The holidays, admittedly, they can be overwhelming. There's a lot going on. And sometimes it's a time to be celebrated and enjoyed, and other times it's just a time of year to be endured. So you just get through the darn thing and can get to the start of the new year. But when you learn how to do business with the seasons, it can really be fun and profitable because you start to feel connected. You can combine work and play, and you realize it doesn't have to be an either or experience. You don't have to figure out how to do your work and then how to go have fun. You can combine them and do both at the same time. So a little bit about me. This is me with my husband Gary and our two fabulous boys, Alex and Ryan. And I have my background's in real estate. I've been doing it for 18 years. And it's been very, very good to me. But when we started to have our family, I wanted to make a shift in terms of how I was doing my business because I wanted to be there to participate with our family and our boys and have fun and make those fun and lasting memories along the way. As you can see, we are huge Seahawk fans. We've got all the gear. We have season tickets. We have a great time going to those games. So I really started, when I made this shift in my business, looking at how can I leverage my time and the connections that I have to get better results. I'm a huge fan of figuring out how to get more out of what I'm already doing. When we want to make a change in our business, maybe make more money or do more sales, we always assume we have to add something new. And really, what I would encourage you to do is take a look at what you're already doing and see how you can get more out of that before you add something new. Because that's when you start finding that great balance of having a business and a life. It also started to take the pressure off, because then I was finding that I was getting to do all those fun things that I really enjoy. I would encourage you to rethink how you show up during the holidays and really about your business in general. Find ways that you can leverage what you're already doing. Take those fun activities that you are going to do and let's figure out how to get some business out of them. Because again, that's when it's really fun. Here's some examples of what I'm talking about. There's great ways to connect to this time of the year. There's football, pumpkin patches, Thanksgiving Day parades, tree cuttings, lots of different things that you can do that you can interact with other people. Real estate, life, success, it's a contact sport. You have to be in contact with other people for this to work. And at different times of the year, there's things going on. There are reasons to connect with people. A perfect example is the 4th of July. You can call people to wish them a happy 4th of July, but that's just one day, right? So you have to find the 2 or 3 days before that and figure out how to get through your entire list of clients to call them and wish them a happy 4th of July. And sometimes that works. Sometimes you just don't have time to get it all done. So you might make a couple phone calls, then 4th of July happens, and then it feels like the opportunity's gone, and now you're, waiting around for Labor Day. But right now, there's things going on, gosh, almost daily that you can do. And so it's about finding the ways to do these things. And admittedly, I made this shift because I like doing these things. I really enjoy being out and celebrating the seasons. But usually what would happen is every year, right around this time, kind of early October, I would think about all the fun activities that I'd like to do during the holiday season. And then all of a sudden it would be January 1st and I realized I didn't do a darn thing, right? I was just running around acting like a crazy person, not having fun and not getting anything done, and really with nothing to show for it personally or professionally. So I decided, okay, I am going to do these things again for myself, but also for my family. I want our kids to go to the pumpkin patch. We obviously like doing Christmas trees and doing other fun adventures, going to the light shows. Our kids love that. I like that. So how could I do that? Have some fun, but then combine business with it. And the beautiful thing about doing it this way is it really becomes a client party that you didn't have to schedule or pay for or coordinate, right? Most of these things are free. You just get to show up and do them, and it's a catalyst to get together. And you can bring different people. It also takes that pressure off, from a timing perspective. You don't have to find something new. And that's one of the biggest shifts, right? It's going from feeling like you have to compartmentalize your life and do the work version of you and the personal version of you to figuring out how can you combine it. When you combine it, it gets easy, it becomes natural, and it's fun. So inviting different things to this, it takes the pressure off because there's already something going on. Pumpkin patch is a perfect example. It's not just pumpkins anymore. You get there, and the one we went to last weekend, they had this great slingshot. You could launch these pumpkins and see how far you could make them fly. They had, a haunted house. You could get face painting done. Lots of different things going on. So if you're bringing people together in an environment like that, you're the catalyst that got them there, but you're not required to be the sole source of entertainment. You're just that person they got to see and say hello to while they were there, which makes it really fun. It also makes it more likely that people are going to say yes. I have to admit, we know we're supposed to do lunches, and but that takes a lot of time during the day, and you never quite know how the conversation's going to go. And gosh, if it's a little slow or a little dry, you still have to get through this whole lunch. Or, to do a client appreciation party. I have to admit that one of the other reasons I like doing it this way is because I was cursed in the beginning. I did the client appreciation parties. Everybody said I was supposed to do. I spent all this money and it never failed. Somebody who came to that party bought a house from somebody else in the next 12 months. It was so frustrating. So I figured, darn it, if I'm going to get together with people, I'm going to do the things I want to do. So if people show up, great. If they buy from somebody else, it's a bummer, but at least I don't feel like I took an entire day out of my life and spent, lots and lots of money just to have somebody go buy from somebody else. And keep in mind, all of these things, whether the people come or not, it's just about having a reason to call. It's easier to call and invite somebody to the pumpkin patch or a Thanksgiving Day parade than it is to call them and kind of the whole, hi, it's Nicole. I'm supposed to call you because you're on my list and I took a class that says I'm supposed to make these forward calls. And wow, I really wish this had gone to voicemail and we didn't have to talk because now it feels awkward, right? Now you've got a reason to call and connect with people. The biggest thing is keep it casual. It takes the pressure off of you and it takes the pressure off of them. Back to these client appreciation parties, I think they're great, but I have to admit, if I got invited to one, I might not go. In fact, I probably wouldn't go because all I can think of is it's going to be an awkward event where I don't know anybody. I have to try and convince my husband to go. He's not going to want to go because he won't know anybody. And we're just not going to do it. But if somebody invited me to a tree lighting, that's really fun. It's casual. It gets us out of the house, gives us a reason to go do something we wanted to do anyway, but may not have made the time for it. And we're there to interact with other people. And if it goes well, we can then go maybe have an appetizer afterwards or kind of keep the party going. But if we're not in the mood or it doesn't feel like we're really connecting with people, we're kind of in, we're out, it's 30 minutes and it's kind of no harm done, right? There's no awkwardness of trying to keep people entertained for an extended period of time. And this comes from, we love doing dinner parties. We do them on a fairly regular basis at our house. And we've done the big fancy planned out ones. And those are fun, but admittedly, some of the most fun is when we call a friend on Monday and say, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday night? What are you doing tomorrow? Let's get together. So you don't have to, it either works or it doesn't, but there's no pressure of leading up to it. And gosh, now all these other things are starting to pile in around it and you're not really sure if you have time for it anymore. It's just in the moment and you get together and it kind of takes away some of that extra expectations. So how do you do this? Ideally, in a perfect world, I would love to see you schedule one activity per week. Now, I know that's a lot, and it's not something you would do every week of every year, but right now there are so many things going on. Take advantage of it. And again, really your filter for what you should do should be, what do you want to do? What would be fun for you? Don't worry about what you think your clients want to do. Figure out what would be fun for you. So schedule one activity a week. Call your clients to invite them. Again, keep it casual. In our area, we have the Thanksgiving Day Parade is actually the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it's downtown Seattle, and it's beautiful. It is a fantastic parade. So I would call people on Tuesday and just say, hi, it's Nicole. I wanted to wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Hey, by the way, are you guys in town? If you are, we're doing the Thanksgiving Day Parade on Friday. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's absolutely worth the time. We'll be on this corner. Come join us. It'd be great to see you. As you can see, it's really relaxed. There's no pressure. If they can make it, great. If they can't make it, don't worry about it. But call to invite them. If you want to send an email with details, that's fantastic. But really, again, it's about the reason to call. Always bring a gift. Make it kind of fun and special. That being said, the smaller and less expensive the gift is, the better. Again, you don't want to make it a lot of pressure. A great one is those hand warmers. You can get them at Costco. Kids love them. But if you're outside and you're doing something and it's kind of chilly out there, bring some hand warmers. It's easy to throw in a bag. It's just something fun. It lets people know that you thought about them. If you're doing a tree lighting and you're doing something with families, those neon glow bracelets can be really fun. The kids love running around with that. Parents will love you because it's a little easier to keep track of everybody. And then, again, leverage it. Take pictures and post them on Facebook. It's always super fun. People know that you're out and about and doing things. One side note on that, if you're doing things with families and you're taking pictures and you have pictures of their children in there, make sure that you check with the parent before you post that picture on Facebook. Even if you don't tag them, not everybody's okay with their kids being on social media. It becomes a security and a privacy thing. So either just stick to the adults or make sure you get permission before you put the kids' pictures on there. And then send a note card afterwards. And send it to the people that came. But also, if you called somebody and got a hold of them or they followed up afterwards to say they couldn't make it, send them a note card as well. Hey, sorry we missed you. Hope all is well and you have a wonderful holiday season. Look forward to catching up soon. And if they made it, so fun to have you there. Enjoy the holiday season. Look forward to seeing you in the new year. It just solidifies everything and just makes it a really nice experience. On that note, the power of a note card. Again, something we know we're supposed to do, but we overthink it. We're not sure what to write or what to do. There's something hugely powerful about a handwritten note. I always send out a Thanksgiving card or letter to my clients. Usually it's a postcard or letter that I do kind of on themed stationery about gratitude and how grateful I am for them and their support of my business. But 2 years ago, I made the decision to write every client a handwritten note card for Thanksgiving. It was about 200 note cards that I sent out. So if you're going to do this, I would encourage you to start early because writing 200 note cards in a 4-day period, which is what I did, gets a little difficult. I definitely had a hand cramp at the end. But I just wrote a quick note to say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. It's a time of gratitude, and I want to let you know how much I appreciate you and your support of my business. I wish you a wonderful holiday season, Nicole. From that one note card, I had 8 new clients, 3 of which were closed by the end of the year. So don't underestimate that. You've certainly got time. If you start now, do it. Some of my favorite places for note cards are Target, bookstores. You can usually find some really fun ones that aren't too expensive. Another side note on the note card thing, or in conjunction with that, send a holiday card to your clients, ideally with a picture of you or you and your family or just something fun. People love getting those. And if you send them the law of reciprocation, there's a good chance that they will send you one back. And again, most people do picture cards these days. Always pick up the phone and call your client when you get one of those cards. There's a reason to call. That picture usually has some significance to it. A lot of times it's a vacation that somebody took throughout the year, or they might have a picture of their family and you can call and comment on the kids or the dog or whatever's in that picture. But make sure you pick up the phone and call people whenever they send you a holiday card, especially if there's a photograph on there. Other bonuses of being social. You run into other clients along the way. Whenever I am out and about doing something, I always run into clients, and especially when you're at these events, it's an added bonus, right? It's almost, pop buys. You're supposed to get gifts and drop them off at different people's houses. I have to admit, I love that idea. It's not something I've ever been able to get myself to do, but I do make it a point to be out and about on a regular basis. And those clients as well, if you run into them at a tree lighting or a football game or something like that, send them a note card afterwards. You have your 30-second conversation, send them a note card. Great running into you at the tree lighting. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season. They also see you as a connector in the community. We sell houses, but it's not just the house, it's the community and the lifestyle that we sell. So then people know that you're kind of hip to what's going on. And as you're out with one group of people and you run into someone else, it just reinforces that perception that you are really connected to not only the community, but the people within it. And it allows you to build relationships with local businesses as you're out doing things on a regular basis. And this is not just for clients. We've got our certain people that are in our business database, but there are also lots of other groups usually that we're connected to. And the question is always, how do you nuance that personal relationship and bridge that gap to open the door that it could become a business relationship down the road, so that they think of you when they're buying and selling real estate. This is a great way to do it. For us, our boys are in school, so we have all those school parents, we have all the parents from their different sporting activities, and we know them, but we only know them, kind of on whatever level that we interact with them with. Again, sports, school, what have you. It could be your church or your Rotary or other things that where you're interacting with people. These are great ways to then take a couple people at a time, invite them to go do something, and get to know them on a deeper level to bridge that gap and that relationship. The beauty of what we do is, real estate, everybody's interested in it. Once they know what you do, that kind of takes care of itself. And also know that these social interactions are not times to bring up real estate. Be aware of what's going on. Like I said, those seeds are starting to sprout. If people start talking about houses or commenting that things seem a little cramped or a little dark, make a note, but make a note to follow up with them later. And if somebody brings up real estate while you're out doing fun social things, just nicely let them know that, that's great. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Let's set up another time for coffee or a meeting so that you can really have a business conversation. In and amongst these social interactions is not the time to be doing that. But again, use these events and these things that you're doing as a way to start building relationships with those people that you know socially that you'd like to bridge that gap and get to know at a deeper level that they may be able to do business with you in the future as well. So your action steps as a result of this. The biggest part, first of all, you can't get results if you don't take action. So we've talked about some great ideas in this webinar. Now you have to decide what you're going to take action on. The biggest thing, though, is to not overthink it. Don't worry about, did you pick the right event? Or did you call the right, feeling like you have to match make which client do you invite to which event, or which clients, how do you combine the clients at a certain event? The beauty of doing it this way is there's so much going on. You're kind of the centerpiece, but people can come and go. So you don't have to worry about, can this person sit down and have a 45-minute conversation with the other person? So just pick it. If you've got 100 people on your database and you've got 10 events scheduled, you call the first 10 people for the first event, the second 10 for the second, and so on. So pick them, put them on your calendar. I would encourage you to do that now. If you need ideas for events, just Google your city and holiday events. There'll be all kinds of things that pop up. But if you're trying to figure out on Monday what you're going to do on Saturday, it doesn't always work. And do some things during the week as well. Sometimes the weekends get a little nutty for people. Having something to do during the week can be a fun way to break it up. And again, kind of goes into that no pressure. Like, hey, if you can swing by and let's go to the holiday light show on our way home from work, great. But if not, no big deal. So it's nice to spread that stuff out. But again, select which clients to invite, but don't overthink it. Remember, it's a reason to call, and it's a reason to connect, and something that feels natural and easy to do. Thank you so much for being here today. My mission is to help you simplify your business, boost your income so that you can love your life. Hopefully, I've given you some ideas that will help you do that. If you are not on my list already, I would encourage you to go to NicoleMangina.com and sign up for that. You'll get regular email updates, and there are things that I only put in email. They're not on the website. I encourage you to do that. And also, please share this with anybody you think might benefit from it. I would so appreciate that. Thank you so much. Wishing you a wonderful and magical fourth quarter and a fantastic start to the new year.